Bailiffs step in when a court order, like an unpaid county court judgment, CCJ, or high court debt has been issued but not followed through by the debtor. So, if a person defaults on a debt, gets a CCJ and still doesn't pay, that's when bailiffs can get involved. The stakes are higher at this stage as the debt might be increased by a judge to include interest. It's worth noting a key point: a defaulted account and a CCJ are sequential steps. Simply having a default doesn't lead directly to bailiffs. A court order, or CCJ, needs to be served. And there's a silver lining. If you clear the debt within 1 month of receiving a CCJ, it gets discharged, closing the door on the bailiffs for that particular debt. Now, what types of debt can bailiffs collect? They deal with a wide range from personal loans, credit card debts and private parking fines to catalogue arrears, store card debt, council tax debt, court fines, and even HMRC debt. Before bailiffs come knocking, they're obliged to send a notice of enforcement letter. This letter serves as a formal heads up, letting you know that they're about to step in. It's a window of opportunity for you to either pay up or establish a payment arrangement. If you ignore this notice, expect a visit after 7 clear days. But let's say you genuinely can't pay the full amount. What then? Well, there are options to consider: debt management plans, debt relief orders, DROs, and individual voluntary arrangements. They're among the many alternative routes. Before committing to any repayment agreement with bailiffs, consult independent charities like Step Change or Payplan. They offer free advice and are legally required to keep your financial information confidential. I can also connect you to our partner if you fill out the short form which is under this video. It'll ask you a few questions like how much you owe and how many people do you owe. Once it's finished, it'll connect you and they can discuss any debt solutions that you may qualify for. In the midst of all this, it's crucial to know your rights and boundaries. There are specific situations like if you're seriously ill, pregnant, or have severe mental health issues that can stop bailiffs from entering your premises. If they can't make an entry, they might attempt again, or in rare cases, ask for a forceful entry warrant. More often though, they'll return the debt to the original creditor. What's the best bet if they are at your doorstep? Well, contrary to popular belief, they can't just barge their way into your house. Keep the windows and doors shut. Leave any paperwork that you need by the door, and if they need it, just feed it through your letterbox. Park your car on private land, like in a garage or at a friend's place, so that it can't be seized. If it's a hire car, you need proof so they can't take it away, so get those documents by the door as well. The only time bailiffs can enter your home without permission is to collect court fees or HMRC debt. But be wary. If they previously entered peacefully, they might have more leverage to insist on entry. Bailiffs usually operate between 6 a.m. and 9 p.m. They can visit your home or business premises. However, when dealing with personal debts, they mostly prefer to come to your home. Always ask for the paperwork and ID. They should provide proof of their identity, the debt, and their right to come to your property is usually a warrant of possession or a high court writ. And in our digital age, don't be surprised if they present these documents electronically. Bailiffs are inclined to recover as much debt as possible for their client, the creditor. While they have the right to refuse a payment plan, they often look for indicators of your genuine intent and ability to pay. Spotting valuable assets at your property may make them lean towards seizing your goods. However, creditors sometimes give specific instructions to bailiffs either to recover the full amount or to be open to accepting a structured plan. Offering a substantial lump sum initially can demonstrate your seriousness about settling the debt, making it more likely for a payment plan to be approved. So what can bailiffs actually take? Well, they can take high value items that are easily resold. They're their primary targets. This includes things like electronics, like TVs, laptops, jewellery, which have significant value. Vehicles, which can be sold at auctions, and certain types of furniture, especially antiques or luxury items. However, they can't simply look through a window and claim an item. They need physical access. Here's what they can't take. There are very clear guidelines on essentials which remain off limits. This includes items necessary for basic living, so kitchen appliances, essential for preparing food, heating units, especially during the colder months, any medical equipment that might be required for health reasons, and personal items like clothing. Additionally, tools or equipment that you use for work, ensuring that you have means of income, they're protected. Items on hire purchase are also exempt because they're not fully owned by you until it's fully paid off. Your car is a primary target for bailiffs. However, there are clear guidelines. If it's a mobility vehicle, it's exempt. Additionally, if your car's deemed below the value of £1,350, it remains untouched. If targeted, bailiffs may clamp your vehicle. That happened to me, usually giving you a short window, typically 2 hours, to settle the debt before towing it. Bailiffs are persistent, but there's a limit to their attempts. They can officially visit your property up to 3 times. However, a visit only counts if you're actually at home. If you're not around or choose not to acknowledge them, it doesn't get chalked up as one of their attempts. In cases where you can't pay and have no tangible assets for bailiffs to seize, your case might circle back to the original creditor. With no means of debt recovery visible, creditors might then consider more serious legal routes, including petitioning for bankruptcy. Once bailiffs seize goods, they don't immediately sell them. There's a 7-day holding period, giving debtors a last chance to settle the debt and reclaim their items. After this, goods typically go to public auctions. However, the real-world auction value can often be disappointing, fetching less than anticipated. Interactions with bailiffs aren't just about the debt. They come with their own set of fees, legally sanctioned. So, for example, the act of sending the notice of enforcement letter comes with a £75 fee. If they visit your property, that's another £235. And if you owe over £1,500, an additional 7.5% gets tacked on. If goods are seized, the fee structure changes again, and these fees, it can really add up quickly, making it even more crucial to address debts before bailiffs get involved. The easiest way to deal with bailiffs is by dealing with your debt. Once that's done, you can put the whole experience behind you and just move on with your life. So know your rights, keep the door shut, and try to stay calm now that you're armed with the facts.